right. Make some noise right now!
Enter! Podcast and Chill Network in association with Grandeur and Striped Horse Premium Beer presents the Road to 1 Million Subscribers event on the 30th of July 2023 at SUNBET AREANA in Pretoria. Lineup includes MacG, Mpop Pops, Celeste Nduli, Eugene Koza, and Robert Boy. This fun-filled event will include comedy, music performances, as well as a live audience conversation with MacG, Sorpen Duka, and the Ghost Lady. Tickets are now available on Cricket from 295 rands. Doors open at 6 p.m. Food and drinks sold at the venue. Come and join a milestone celebration of Black excellence with Podcast and Chill Network.
But he's not beating you up.
He's not cheating.
He's not cheating. So why are you leaving?
Condoms that my mom gave us that we never used, obviously, because now I'm pregnant. I'm shooting Mr. Bones.
Yeah.
So now he
You're
leaves.
busy rocking condomless bones.
Ufuna ukungishaya ngila. DINEO ngagibela phezulu. I remember jumping on top of a counter. I remember stripping myself off ngasala ngepanty nebra.
What are you going to do about your sexual urges?
Permanent South African stage of load shedding.
Yeah.
Yo.
Yeah, it's yeah, I don't even know if we can call it load shedding. It's rural areas. Akukho gas.
And I knew you were going to do this to me at some point. I hate you.
Yeah.
Purely because
I'm at the highest level of peace that I've ever experienced in any relationship. Spider-Man, and then there's Batman. Hey sexies, welcome to this episode of DINEO on Sex and Stuff. It's another Tuesday. Check your clock. It's 3 o'clock on the dot. Hey sexies. So you know the name of the show is DINEO on Sex, but there's also that part and stuff. This is where we go into the and stuff of things. We're talking divorce today. The big D, just not the D that you like to suck on every now and again. No, not that D. The D that literally has the potential to cripple you, impact your self-image, make you second guess and doubt your own choices, and literally strip you to shreds. And you have to do all the work to pick yourself back up again. It is not limited to impacting females. Males as well get impacted by divorce. We'll talk to the gents on another day. Today, we're talking to the female side of divorce. Lady.
Hello.
I feel like I've become like a poster girl, poster lady
For divorce.
And it's funny because in the beginning I said zilch. Just after it happened, 2020, 2013, 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, I said nothing. 2021, I woke up one day, I was like, "Hi, man, I've got a lot to say."
Yeah.
Because but also not about the person, about my journey.
Come on.
Yeah, about the journey.
About my journey, about my truth.
Yep.
My daughter was saying to me the other day, Daddy says you talk a lot about him. I said, no, the mistake he makes is thinking that I'm talking about him. Talking about me.
It's the journey. It's the journey.
It's my journey.
Yeah.
It's my truth.
So my thing is, I talk a lot about the actual person.
Yeah.
And the reason why I talk
This
about
person?
the person, no, my ex-husband.
Okay. All right.
Because the type of person he is shocked my system to capacity.
Yeah.
I was like, hi guys, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. And it's not an insult to the individual.
Insult.
It's to say, but these are the things I went through with you that you put me through. And thus, my experience with you tells me that I pray, I wish you start doing the work to heal your wounds.
And while I was there, while I was waking up to the dawn of who are you?
Yeah.
Who did I marry? And living with that person every day and realizing that this is a mother effer, right? Number one. And the world, though, I'm in my space with my children, with my family, and I'm trying to say, problem, this one, and everyone going, no, you're not right. You can't be right. And then praying, DINEO, one day I hope that my children Not everyone else. Everyone else can see to finish. My children wake up and see him for who and what he is. And that day happened. My son woke up one day and said, "Angisafuna this guy." At 15, he was like, "I'm done." For me, that was like, thank you, Jesus.
I think for me, my journey is quite different from Sonia. She says she kept quiet for all these years. And for me, the temptation was there to hide it, shield it, because also from my background, from a Christian background, these are things we don't talk about as the church.
You going to Christianity must be considered a cult, yes?
As a church.
Guys,
You know what? In as much as besides that, I think, you know what? In as much as we are Christians, we human. And, that is why I get to a point where, and you can hear something about a pastor, it should not shock you because he's human. He might be used by God, but he's human also. And so as well with Christianity, we love God, we follow God. Of course. This is the thing about us, we are human. We are going to do some mistakes. And there's a whole lot of things. For me, when I went into marriage, I was raised in the fact that you don't date, there's no dating. Oh, he loves you, you marry him. That's the standard. But I knew from then that this is not it for me. Because, when a person finds you whole, when a person finds you with a purpose and a destiny and you know where you're going, when something tries to derail you from that, that frustrates you. And I realized that not that he's a bad person, but for me, he's not it. For me, he's not it because there's somewhere where I need to go. And he has not gotten that revelation of where I am going. So as I'm just freshly divorced, like it's been a year. But as soon as it happened, so I was like, but you know how it is. We live long before we actually get divorced.
You leave minimum 2 years, maximum 5 years.
So
Nina, because you were married for 11 years. You were married 8 years.
Yeah.
Mina, I left in 3 months. No, really. His first marriage was 13 years. And I say to him, you put your first wife through 13 years of misery. And you think I'm going to sit and try and measure up to that timeline?
Yeah.
Uti, let me tell you something. When I sit in interviews and speak about the boundaries that I set in my life, that thing is not a joke. It's not a joke. If you violate my boundaries,
and
it means that you think so little of me. You go out of your way to try and hurt me. You want for me to crumble, thus you're not a safe place for me. 3 months, ngati, abarukhwa. And when I sat down with his parents and his uncles and the in-laws, bengse phehlweni, ngaphume phehlweni, sengicela isikhathi. Ngathatha ucansi lwami, bebakithi vele liyondela kaSlamakasi. They came to my parents' house, ngathatha ucansi ngahlala phansi. Abamamela bakhuluma, umalume wakhe. Wakhuluma wayibeka indaba sithunyiwe umntanethu yena bekapake ngaphandle. Sithunyiwe umntanethu.
Drive by.
Yeah. They turned my parents' house into a serious drive-through. And it was a quick meeting because a decision was made. An executive decision with God was made that this is done. So I sit down, I listen to them. The uncle is speaking. Then I'm given a turn to speak. I play a recording of...
Your conversation.
Not conversation. Of me being beaten up with a 3-month-old baby in my arms.
Oh my.
Umntana uyakhala mina ngithulile because I'm trying not to traumatize my child because I'm holding my baby. This guy's beating me up. My baby is crying, screaming. The sound of a 3-month-old baby when a baby is hungry, it hurts you. Now imagine a confused cry of a child. You know, I'm a talkative person, eh? There was a big silence in me. A very big silence in me.
Sure.
I'm in the corner of my bedroom. I play that recording. The uncle says, Are manyalo aso. Kabekira, hi be wena. Kabekira, mama le papa. And my parents give me grace to express myself.
I've met your parents. Oh, you remember when we met years ago? You had the mumps.
Yes.
Years ago, we met twice at your house, and then at Gano's.
Yes, at Gano's again. I do remember.
We come a long way, guys.
A very, very long way.
Oh, bragging. Just saying. I've known this girl for a while.
The respect has been there for years.
Yes.
Yeah.
I open my mouth and I say, if your marriage is like that, and if this is what you do to your wife, and if that is what she accepts, understand, I am not you.
Yeah.
Never will I be.
Yeah.
And then they say he's outside, he would like to speak. And I say, in the meeting, my words exactly. This is a very expensive voice. People pay for me to utilize this voice. They do. Radio stations. When I'm booked to speak. This platform that I'm creating.
This platform right now.
You understand?
Yeah.
This thing, he will never hear again. No, we are not talking. I would like to let you know today, there are no more meetings after this. I am no longer your daughter-in-law, and that is it. And can I tell you how broken I was?
Can you imagine?
I was broken.
But can we, without interrupting, obviously.
No stress, please go ahead.
I just want us to talk about the red flags. My 12-year-old was asking me about, so after the marriage, I took a gap year. And then I met somebody that I was with for 5 years. And then after that, I was in a long distance relationship, guys in New York, and then stayed single for a bit, and then met somebody recently. And my daughter wanted to find out, tell me about him. What makes him different? Because you stayed for a long time without dating, single, like literally dry. My children know that when I don't date, I don't date.
You don't date.
I stay alone. Yeah. I immerse myself in them, the family structure and everything. So my daughter's like, tell me about him. I must have said 2 sentences. She was like, Mom, I wish you would just learn to pick up the red flags.
Oh. And the thing about us females, is that, and mind you, this conversation is not about pointing the perfections and imperfections of men and women.
Exactly.
No.
It's really, not about bashing. And
no, we're not bashing.
Not trashing. No. We're not bashing. We're just telling our truth, guys. And please don't come for us.
And here's the thing. I think I would like for people to understand that sometimes when people tell their stories, they don't tell their stories for the public to believe or disbelieve. No. I think stories are told so that if there's one person out there who's drowning, they can find alignment and they can find light, because mudimu oberega gabathu. So if we don't go through pain, you understand?
And express
that pain. In our little communities, if we all stay quiet, we're all going to die with these pains.
This is it.
So uglapa.
And South Africa has taken a 360, 390, 380, 1009. I don't know. There's been a shift. There's been a paradigm shift in this country in the last 3 years. People don't care anymore. I always say, if I'm going to talk and make that one person who is in a society, in a space where nobody cares, there's one girl.
It doesn't even have to be multitudes.
It doesn't have to be multitudes.
It can just be one person. And because I feel for me also that was the case. And I remember saying to my pastor, and he says to me, why did you even go on Facebook? And I was like, I didn't go to Facebook because I needed popularity.
Or attention.
People could start seeing that something is happening. And I said, if they're going to know what's happening, they're going to hear it from me. And I said, I'm going to choose to use Facebook. And I didn't share my story. I just said, yes, guys, it is what it is.
We're
I'm divorced. And yes, it happened. And someone was like, but you guys were perfect. And I'm like, you guys are shattered based on what we presented to you guys. You shattered on what you believed was beautiful. Yet us, we knew that what we are in, the cookie is crumbling. Like it's hectic, it's bad, And when you say about I think I shared with you here, saying, we know from the beginning, but there's always, yesterday I actually posted something that says, do not marry, I saw it from another pastor. He says, do not marry potential, marry reality. And I realized that's the greatest mistake that we are doing, that we marry a person based on the potential we think they can be. But we choose to ignore what they are telling us, because it's in those moments where...
And it's that Oprah Winfrey thing that she says, if somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them.
No matter, even if you don't want to, believe it, Believe it, because I realized at that moment that I want to, then you cause yourself so much stress. You give yourself anxiety and depression and stress, because now this person is who they are. And you can see, I don't want this person. I don't want a person like this in my life. This is the kind of person I desire to be with. And now because you're in it, now you are now trying to change this person. You've given yourself extra work to now. I love that. I love that. You really become Bob the Builder. True story.
But that's where I want to come to, the conversation of Bob the Builder. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong with being a Bob the Builder. Just change the name from Bob to Angelina the Builder. Because at the end of the day, we're building together.
Yes, there is that. There is that. There's always that, but there's always the discerning spirit.
True story.
You know by the little things. After the marriage, the gap year, the 5 years. The 5 years, I literally left because it got to a point where, number one, we became roommates. Number two, everything was, you must know that it doesn't come from...
Hold on, this is the 5 years. You were still in the marriage?
No. After.
Post.
No. He got rid of the marriage, took a gap year, again being single, and then met somebody potential. And thinking, okay, let's build together. However, for me, I don't mind building.
Yeah.
For me, it is when constantly you hear, you must understand that I don't have. You must understand that it doesn't come from plenty. You must understand that. So for me, and then that's fine. That's fine because then I can, maybe it's okay. It's okay. We'll go. But then when you start trying to strip me and saying you are living beyond your means, you are extravagant. You like things. You must compromise. Yeah, you must compromise.
Did you not pause at all and try and find if there's any wisdom or constructive criticism coming from your partner?
You met Sonia. You know Sonia.
This is who Sonia is.
Exactly. This is who
and Sonia has her own capacity for the lifestyle that she prefers.
I was a multimillionaire in my 20s. I was the first face of Dark and Lovely, first face of Lux, first face of Ponds, first face of Sunsilk, first face of City Power, first face of anything. I had 90 TV commercials locally and internationally. I became a millionaire in my 20s. I bought my own first Louis Vuitton bag. So you must understand that I trained myself into a lifestyle. I gave myself a lifestyle.
Do you think you're still angry?
No, I'm not angry. I'm just saying, Uguti, we need to also understand who we are. So then that way we don't repeat the same mistakes. Guys, we have to break the cycle. And even till today, I find myself saying, okay, this can't work, because then you're still yet to break the cycle.
Also, I think for me, the greatest thing that has been a struggle, and I feel like it probably still is even now, it's learning to forgive yourself. Because...
Baby, yes.
I feel like I let myself down. That's where I'm at,
Yeah.
Hence, I'm not really angry at my ex-husband. I had to literally say, but you let yourself down.
Yeah.
Let your guard down, And for me to get over that, I still struggle, because here I am now I'm left with the situation of I need to raise kids on my own, and which is something I never planned to do. But then I had to choose. Am I going to continue to live a lie and live and do this marriage based on standards that people say, no, because there's something that you actually said that really hit home for me. When you're talking about how you said to the uncles, if this is how you treat your wife, I'm not going to take that.
It's not me.
Because for me, people were questioning my reasons for leaving, but he's not beating you up. He's not cheating. So why are you leaving?
Can we understand the magnitude of damage that emotional abuse causes? And yes, cheating happens, and there are women who can stay for it. There's women who can forgive it. Yeah. But certain people cannot take it because it emotionally messes them up. It completely changes their self-image. And park cheating as a form of emotional abuse because it's the deepest form of betrayal in an intimate affair. An affair where you're supposed to be building with your partner. An affair where you're supposed to be transparent and trusting with your partner. So when the foundation of trust is taken from a relationship, that is the first thing that disturbs the peace in our home.
Yeah, true.
Then we talk about energy transfer. Now I must babysit all those energy transfers.
Spiritual transfers.
Then we talk about
soul ties.
Then we talk about communities.
Yeah.
The community that you belong to and the things that you do with your friends, that is a burden to me as well, that is destructive to the peace, because y'all are influencing each other against our peace. And the mere fact that as my partner, you can't choose me, my safekeeping.
Yeah.
You can't bring yourself to protect me. I'm broken, I'm damaged now. I'm all on my own. And then let's park the cheating and talk about the kind of emotional abuse that people put each other through. And women do this too.
Yeah.
Stonewalling. We're trying to have a conversation.
Silent treatments.
We're trying to resolve conflict. You stonewall me.
I don't want to talk.
You don't want to talk.
Silent
And then
treatments.
I want to resolve our conflict. And then you say, there you go again with your nonsense. So then how are we going to navigate? If you're not talking to me, but every second day you're phoning your mother complaining about me, or phoning my mother complaining about me, we're not communicating healthily.
Gaslighting in a relationship is the worst thing that has ever been created. I don't know who came up with it. I don't know who conceptualized it, but it's very messy.
Emotional abuse is abuse.
Yeah. Oh, it is abuse.
It's like a mental illness. Just because there's no scar there that you can see, it doesn't mean I'm not sick. Just because I'm sitting here happy and I'm smiling, it does not mean I'm not a sick person. I am a sick person. I have my struggles. I've got to take my meds. Sometimes I feel down. I don't want to wake up and shower sometimes, but I've got to force myself to, because my wiring is just on the negative side of the fence. So even a person who does not have cheating to show for it, who does not have bruises to show for it, it does not mean they don't have a reason for abuse. For divorce.
Yes, they'll tell you that it's not warranted, it's not even scriptural, because our verses were broad, everything was there. And I remember saying, you know what, God, I'm going to stand for this. I'm going to stand for this, because not only am I helping myself to break free from this, but there's a whole lot of women who are not, they don't have the power. But after I posted my story, I don't know how many people reached out to me. People I never thought would reach out to me. Because then I realized that we are a wounded society.
We are.
But they say we are a hurt generation with beautiful pictures, And I realized that that's the honest truth. Because when people were coming to me and talking, and I was like, but I didn't see this happening. I didn't realize this was your story. And I said, I'm so thankful that it had to take my situation to break out. I'm not going to be shy about it. And I don't even wear it as shame. I said, it's not going to be shame for me. If you want to classify it as shame, it's okay. But
that's
for me,
on you.
I've learned something. I've become a better person, and I'm living my truth now. It might not be your truth. It might not even make sense to you. And it shouldn't, and it's okay. But it makes sense to me.
What was it for you? What was it for you that you went through in your marriage?
Yeah.
He wasn't cheating. He's not beating you up. Everyone says that, but Kalelani, what was it?
Yeah. For me, I'll tell you the honest truth. Firstly, my desire is to be married to your friend. Because I just feel like when everything else happens in life, when you've got your friend, you can be able to navigate just about anything. So my mistake, and I don't even want to call it mistake, but I'll just use that term. He was someone that was my spiritual covering. So you understand, he's like your father in the Lord. And so automatically, you know how we are when we're with our pastors? Your pastor can say something, but because you don't have the boldness to say, but I don't agree with that, you're like, okay, it's fine. And
why is that?
I don't know.
Your inner voice was silenced.
Oh, for the longest time.
And that will be a problem.
And you know what happened? Then that is viewed as submission, because you cannot be able to voice yourself. And here I am suffering. Here I am struggling. And every time I'm like, okay, yes, it's fine. He's the head. Yes, his ways. Yes, I'll listen to what, probably he might come here and say something completely different. He will say his side of the story, in which I would respect.
Of course.
Dr. Phil says that. He says, no matter how flat a pancake is, there's always two sides to it. And so I'd always embrace the fact that he will come and present his story and his side, but I want to speak my side. And so I've always felt that, you know what, I'm not going to be able to become who I'm meant to be if I continue to be here. So the fact that he could not get me, I think he also probably wasn't, we were married quite young. So
how old were you when you married?
I was 23 when I got married, 24 actually. So we were quite young when we got married. A lot of things we did not know, And as I said, in the Christian space, there's no dating. You love this person, marry the person, And that's where the red flag for me was, because had I got the opportunity to really date the guy,
You would have known. You would have seen something.
And I would have said, it's not for me. And chances are someone else might marry my ex-husband and find him to be the amazing
That's
man.
the thing.
Yeah. And that's one thing I've always said. And I even remember having this conversation with them, like, when you remarry, because I know you will, you're going to be happy because if you choose to do the work, because you see, this is what I made an intention. I made an intentional decision that I'm going to put in the work now.
Yeah.
Because I'm given an opportunity to rewrite my life.
Yeah.
And I don't want the same mistakes to happen. And so I'm investing in building myself emotionally, financially, every area of my life.
Did you have to rebuild yourself sexually? Because I also find sometimes we want to rebuild ourselves financially. We want to rebuild ourselves image-wise, But I also find that with a great loss comes a sense of loss in your self-image as well. And your self-image is not limited to how people perceive you, but also how you perceive yourself. Because I remember with my experiences, I ended up not finding myself attractive. I ended up not knowing what my sexual pulse is like. And also because I was so repulsed by the disgusting things I discovered that his community of friends and him got up to. I felt so filthy. I felt like I was a sperm bank for all this crap that he was doing outside and dumping it on me. And I looked at which is pretty much true. Like I felt like I looked at myself and I hated myself. And I thought I can never get undressed in front of a person again. I can't ever be the lovely, jovial, sexual animal that I know myself to be. Because I felt so filthy. I was like, and I was angry at him.
Yeah, for putting you in
and
that place.
Angry at myself. And also I had to go through the forgiving of self.
Oh my.
But it takes a different kind of woman, right? There's women, guys, that I know personally that can juggle 5 guys. No issues.
No
stress. In fact, come on, man. You're sleeping on the job.
Oh, man.
Right? I like that. No, seriously, sleeping on the job. But then it takes a different kind of woman, a spiritual, because guys, no matter what you say, I don't care where you are, what you're thinking, we are spirit beings. We are souls. That's why when the soul goes, the body remains in the ground, right? And it takes, and hence, for me, I'd rather be in a long-term, loving, building relationship. Sleeping around. Hence, I had to take that long distance because for me, again, I wasn't comfortable. I wasn't sure of myself. I was trying to rewire. So long distance worked because then, while I'm still figuring myself out. But the taking, the dumping of the soul, of the sperm, of the dirt,
the energy.
So also I think for me, I mean, as I said to you, I'm freshly divorced, And I remember my pastor saying this to me. So what is the plan of the divorce? And I'm like, the plan is I'm going to work hard to regain the years that I lost, because I just feel like I died. I remember saying this to my ex-husband. The day I actually said I do to you is the day I actually died.
Oh my God.
It's the day I actually died because I literally signed my life away. I remember even when we had a meeting with the parents. And the parents said, stay for the kids. At least stay for the kids.
I hate that. My mother-in-law used to say to me.
They hit me because I was like, because my parents are still together. His parents are still together. And now I'm trying to introduce my kids to something that is quite foreign to me also. I don't know the setup. And the temptation was there to stay for the kids. And I remember I was in the car and I was wailing. I couldn't even speak. I couldn't do anything. All I could say was, I'm given an opportunity to walk away. And I feel like I'm literally putting myself in the death penalty again.
My gosh.
And so I made a decision. I said, you know what? My kids are going to be okay.
Yes.
They're going to be okay. I don't know how, but they're going to be okay. And then I said, you know what? I'm not going to be chasing after a man because I needed to do the work. Because I had to find out what made you to go into this relationship even when everything in you was saying don't go. So I had to go back and check my childhood traumas, my insecurities, everything. So I had to do the work. I'm still doing the work.
Of course.
And that is why I don't even feel that I'm in the right space to be with someone else at this moment.
It's perfectly fine because healing is a journey. It's not a destination.
I love that it's not a destination. I love 100%, when you say that.
Yeah.
And so I said, I cannot afford to now be under pressure that, oh, am I still in the market? Can I still, be someone's woman? I'm not about that. I'm all about trying to build myself, because if I don't do the work, it's going to catch up with me at some time. At some point in my journey of life, it's going to catch up with me. So I had to really do the work and search within myself.
What does doing the work mean?
Doing the work for me is I needed to stop being the victim.
100%.
I needed to stop I needed to stop saying, but it was him. And I had to say, okay, fair enough. Yes, some issues were him, but what about you? Are you telling me there are some things that you could not really work on? And so that's what I realized, that, okay, I was not perfect also in my marriage. Can I please say that? I was not perfect. I probably had patience issues. My patient levels were quite low. So I said, you know what, work on that. So I'm even seeing it with my kids. I remember how my daughter said to me, you're such a fun person now.
Oh, wow.
And she's only like 11. And she said, you're such a fun person now. We can literally talk to you. Then you would come back from work and you'll just be in your bedroom. We could not talk to you, because you know what? You don't even realize that it's impacting on them. You would think that, because they see mom and dad together, they're happy, they're fine. But now my kids get to know mom. They get to know the real me, the one that they can approach about just anything. And that for me is amazing, because now, here, I'm even going to share this with you guys, that there was a point where, actually, because I've got 3 kids.
Yeah.
So my first, when she was like, this is how bad it is. Imagine in a year being married. I realized that this is not it for me. Okay, I knew even before I went into it, but you know what? You have this thing that a wise woman builds. Just to be a missus. Just to be a missus.
Just to say my husband, my husband, that nothing fun and abang. As a graduation into
true story, you know what? And that's the thing, so that I can even my daughters.
Kind of wisdom.
Yes, that's right. So I had to get to a point, it's like, I'm not going to be bitter anymore. Like, I'm over that. That season is up now. Okay, so let's work on you, So, and I did that, and I said, even with my kids, they're going to know that, okay, mom and dad did not work out.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that's going to be my narrative. That's not going to be my story. It might be, I don't know, but I'm praying it should not be, because I desire for them to really have that, so I had to even be vulnerable with them, to share that, okay, mommy is struggling with this. So as I was saying, I was talking about patience. Yes. And I realized that I'm a perfectionist. I will not lie. I am still struggling with that. But you know what?
You're a teacher, of course. You would have to be.
Yeah, And I realized that, okay, I want my things like this. And I have a son who will literally do it the other way around.
Yeah,
and I had to, from that, learn that, okay, he's going to do it his way. And it's okay with him. And if he's satisfied with that, be content. It's done.
Do you ladies think at all, if we have to put ourselves in front of a mirror and reflect on our own characters and reflect on our own personalities, outside of the hurt our former partners or husbands have caused us, when we speak of holding yourself accountable for your contribution to the demise of a relationship, do you think you can be honest with yourself that maybe had I been a little bit more of this, of that, not to say you weren't sufficient or enough, but we are very much imperfect, right?
Okay.
And I've learned that women do not want to be told about their imperfections. Not at all. They want to point out imperfections, but we don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to tell yourself your imperfection. You've got to point out, call the devil out by name so that you can be released from shame.
True.
That's it.
Can I start?
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
For me, it is that I don't think, maybe let me speak for myself, but I don't think majority of women walk into marriages with intentions, with agendas. I think we walk in with an intention to build, stay, and make it work.
Yes,
right?
ma'am.
And that's what happened with this girl. So walked in, we're gonna make it work, but slowly you finding out these things, right? That are slowly depreciating your love and slowly taking away from you. I'll give you an example. I learned that the house that I was staying in for 8 years was not my house, because there was a piece of paper that was slid in, or it was 2 paragraphs that I signed and a third paragraph was added after signing that basically said, this is not your house. You found it standing. When I found it flat, I was there from digging the foundation. I lived in a house without windows, guys. I lived in a house without balustrades. I would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning, 7 months pregnant, walk across the wall, holding onto the wall, trying to be safe. Now you are telling me that
all
this
of
house
that is not
mine.
Uyisebenzele kangaka.
Worse than that, like, so people will come whether to clean the windows or measure the curtains. They'd be like, "Opo mama sekaya," and proudly so walk down the stairs. It's me. And you realize that was never your home in the first place. Then you find out, actually, you're a bet. They saw you on TV. It was 4 people. It was on your marks. Get set, go.
I do also think that's what happened with me. Hey?
So to
I
answer
think that's
your
what happened
question,
with
you
me.
find all these things out, right? As a woman, you walked in here to build, and then you stay, and then there's so much. You discover. I remember there was a day when he said, okay, serves me with divorce papers, fine. And then a week, a month or two, something shortly after says, let's fix. I remember sitting thinking, what?
So he's the one who wanted the divorce.
Served, yes. And then after a while said, let's fix. But I remember saying, what? This is not even my house, guys. Like,
Njani?
Ngqala kuphi?
Kuphukile.
Kuphukile.
Mina
So,
angikho la.
Angikho lana. I was a bet. So it was never real.
How did you find out that you were a bet, Sons? I honestly suspect that's what happened with me. And the reason I'm asking this question is because I have had conversations with myself so many times where also I've had to do the journey of self-forgiveness. It's taken me a while. I've had to do the journey of learning to trust myself again because I lost all trust in my decision-making.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like,
so true.
Like my former partners, the reasons why we broke up, and I'm very much civil with them. I don't hate them. I'm not mad. You know, when you're not in unison and you're just not compatible. There's no need to force it all the way to marriage. So with my partner, my ex-husband, we were legit best friends. I was, in my world, I was like, my God, I cannot believe I've actually met a person.
A male version of me.
It's like we were best friends. We spent a lot of time together. We laughed a lot together, spent a lot of time with the kids together until Kichwa Ingom, until Kichwa Ilobol, until Ndaba Mrs. So-and-so. Newoki ake ya chinja. Nehlombe la chinja. Nobuso ba chinja.
And that's where you see it first.
Nobuso ba chinja. You know? And I picked up this attitude and I'm like, where's my friend?
Oh my.
Why am I so alone?
Yeah.
Sendiyabizwa ke unondindwa, being pushed downstairs.
Oh my.
Just for taking myself out on an outing to Hardis on a weekend that you decided you're going to neglect the family without speaking, without saying, planning, baby, it's a weekend out with the boys. I was so shocked to capacity with my short-lived marriage. So shocked. That's why I'm saying the narrative would be about him because it is not marriage that is like this. It was the person I was married to that showed me a different side of marriage in a short space of time. So then I did the work and I asked myself, DINEO, what did you do wrong? What could you have done? Because I love accountability. There's nothing that turns me on like accountability, particularly self-accountability.
Exactly.
Even with my children. Because I'm wow. Then I simmer down and then I have a conversation with myself. Then I realize, okay, but the kids are wrong, but there was no need to be that. Then I sit them down, then I apologize, and then we keep it moving. So then I ask myself, Mara, DINEO Lwena wenzeng, man. Get him out of the way. I love this man's family. Bela neke tsamaya left, right, and center. The way I loved this man's marriage. Neke sa utlwile tsela. So ke ipotsa ke re mara DINEO, what could you have? Where kapa ko re atella. Wait, na strateng. Ke tla go tella papa. Ke tla go tella strateng ya ha o nkolote sepe blo ska ntloela masepe. A re thome hela mo. I'm a boundaries person.
Yes.
Awundazi andikwazi. Please. Sundiqhela. But ekhaya. Ndithanda i-peace.
Yes.
And I ke rate modumo mo jarateng.
Yes.
O itse ka tlelwa modumo. Le nna ke ipotsa gore I'm going to start a rock band here. I might as well hire white boys and their guitars. Ba tlo ira modumo
That's
haka.
black girls. That's black girls. Come on now.
Senze rock band.
Who sing the same?
Kuraswe nje. Because yonke into nje. And makafika endlini. Mina nabantwana bam bese kungathi ukhona mawuswitcha on ama-lights ebusuku.
Exactly.
Amaphela mawaphumile.
Yeah.
Mawuthi they scatter.
There's exactly.
We would see the car coming in from the driveway. My son to the bedroom, my daughter, me staying busy. I'm like, that's not the life I want. I'm so sorry. God, this marriage is 3 months. I'm asking myself, what can I do? What can I do to make this man feel at home? What can I do to make this man love us again? What can I do? What can I do? And I asked myself and I said, there's nothing you can do. Divorce this fucker. Divorce him. Divorce him.
We were not allowed to watch Generations because then that whole Ngamlas thing was so real. It felt so real that everywhere I go, I get teased, I get mocked, I get criticized, I get questioned, I get whatever, right? So it got to a point where you hear the car, everybody jumps. Simultaneously, we have to find the remote. Why? Because we have to change the channel.
But you see, those are those very red flags, those things. You see, for me, I feel like now that as I'm saying, I'm accountability. I love that because I also had to realize that, okay, as I said, I'm a neat freak. I'm all these things that, that irritate some people and some people find it as a blessing in disguise. But I realized that when a person now really is now like, I don't know which word to use, but now Lord over your life in that way where you can't just be yourself. Some people actually said to me after the divorce, this is who we know you to be. What you were for all these other 11 years, we're still asking ourselves, what happened to her? And because I realized, I'll just give you a simple example. I was graduating with my first qualification. On our way to my graduation, I had nails. Was I not shouted at for the whole entire journey just because I had nails? Just because I had nails.
Do you know that before we put on the fake ones, they actually grow? Natural. Is you aware?
So like nails. But what am I trying to show you? When a person has this thing of wanting to, I don't mind you showing me some things, because I don't know it all, know. But the basic things where where my voice, this is the thing, my voice got muted. It got muted.
Yeah.
To a point that I was even questioning my thinking ability that can I even reason beyond this?
You see,
can I? Yeah. So that is why I said the day I said I do is the day I died.
You died.
Because now my focus was, I need to make sure that he's happy. The anxiety that comes with that. Is he happy? Did I do it right? Did I, did I say it right? It was too much. It was too much.
It gets a lot.
It does. Yeah. Yes, marriage is a lot of work, guys, and let's not joke about that.
It's nice.
The work is there.
The beginning is always, hence they call it the honeymoon stage.
I never had that. I'm still waiting for that. But I don't know.
You're worse.
I don't even know that. Yeah, I'm an ex-pastor's wife of 11 years. And so even that honeymoon that you're talking about, perhaps it's still coming, I don't know, but all I'm saying is
your next relationship.
And this is one thing
I'm not laughing because I'm laughing. I'm laughing because eventually Linda also became a pastor, right?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a pastor Sidibe.
Today.
As
we speak, did you just call him by his surname?
I did.
No,
ke nna siena ke nna itseng pastor Sidibe ke nna buang ka wena ene ka hlompha.
I come home from the market theater. My older son was staying with us at the time. His older son is visiting. I find my son removed from the bed, put on the floor. His son is on the bed. Can I repeat that? Owami umntwana ususiwe ebhedweni wandlalelwa phansi owakhe walala embedeni. I come back, I check, because I would go in the bedroom every night to say good night, double check, over cover, mother, as we do. I go to the bedroom. I'm like, what the F is going on? Why is this happening? Now I'm fuming. Now I'm upset. What? No, whatever. We enter into an argument. This is Saturday evening. Sunday morning, we have to go to church.
Yeah.
Church is in Soweto. We drive all the way to Soweto in silence. We enter the gate. He parks the car, gets out, opens the door for me. Show must go on.
That's what happened with us. The minute we're outside of the house, the beautiful life of the party, my woman, my this, my that. And I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
And the show is real, eh?
No.
The show is real. To a point that we can't call you Sonia when we see you, we'll say Ntombi, because why? We believe the show is real. So that is why a lot of people said I walked away. I even said, I'm even giving everything, take even the house. I said, take the house. Can I at least have the furniture so that at least the
you
kids
got the house. I walked out.
I left it. I took the. I said,
no, I got a bully and a narcissist similar to my ex-husband. He asked a friend of his to be his divorce lawyer.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah, this lawyer has a tendency to be a bully. And I've been to meetings with them and I've heard the tactics that they used. If there's one thing that he underestimated about me, I am unbullyable.
Yeah. Well, true that.
Yeah. You may try.
Well, if there's one thing we know
South
about
Africa knows that.
I'm unbullyable.
South Africa
My
knows
father
that.
raised me. There was a time I came home crying, like teenage years. Aw mlanga. Ngikhuluma ngawe bhuti wami, taking us back. If you're watching this, noma mlanga isiphaza sasefosloras. Issue. Siyadlala umlanga mude uDINEO mfishane angazi kwenzakaleni ku game umlanga washaya uDINEO wayekhaya wabaleka ubaba wathi I don't care if it's a boy, I don't care if it's a girl. You go back there and you beat him up. You don't come back here and ngaleso sikhathi iminyango yavalwa ngo6. You don't come back here until because one day you're going to be on your own. Uyahamba ushawa. Nami endlini yami there was a time 2 months after giving birth, not even 2 months, 2 weeks I mean. I'm discharged from hospital. My last born child is a premature. She's in hospital. Nice and cozy there in her little incubator. Bedford View. I live where? Centurion. I'm driving from Centurion to go and deliver baby's milk. Because this one is wherever he is collecting spot HIV tests and hitting raw with heaven knows who. I'm like, this can't be my business. I'm going home. I've got my things to worry about. I come home. I remember his parents were visiting. I come home from the hospital. A cesarean is a major operation. It takes time to heal. Yeah, same. 2 weeks after this one, I'm delivering the baby's milk. I come back. There's a friend of mine I'm on the phone with who doesn't know that I've got matrimonial issues of my own. She's talking to me about her matrimonial issues. So I come into the house from the hospital. I'm on the phone with my friend. I go up the stairs. Everyone's sleeping now. I'm thinking, no, my in-laws are just resting. My husband is not there. Sing him joy lamos. No, Manas, I'm not being insulting. No, I'm not being insulting. Naye uyazazi. Uyazazi lo baba, uyazazi unamanga. Lahle sikhona. Wayikithi. Uyazazi naye. I'm not saying anything that he doesn't know about himself. So it's not an insult, it's a reality. But he don't marry potential. Marry reality. Ay, shemi reality show yakhe yena isestratini. So, no problem. Mangifika ke ngene ekamreni.
Good enough.
Mangene ekamreni. Nangu umuntu ungibona ngisefonini. Yazi ngahleka kancane inside my heart because lo muntu ulala ngamashamba. What decided ukuzenza uRambo ngam. Waphuma empedeni ngepuna elingakanani. Wahlutha lefoni walahlela le. Ngathi stitch or no stitch. Mlanga's day happens today. The way ngashaya umlanga that day. Ngamenzani lo baba? Uma ngakhe weza. Hey, wena kakhwenzela ngathi emapini. Ngamvele empedeni ngathi namhlanje. Jesus namhlanje kuphuma isitumbu. Yoshaya lo baba yo. Ngathetha telefoni ngamngata ngayo yathi ka. Ngathi okay.
Yeah.
Bowuthwenzani? bothi wenzani?
Eish.
Bothi ngizokuyeka futhi.
Yeah.
Bothi ngizokuyeka ngife ke.
The monsters
Ngife
need
ke.
to become now.
Ngife ke, and that's why I divorced him.
Aish.
I'm becoming a person that I'm
I'm
not.
not. Yeah.
In my home.
And that's
In my home.
Imagine.
And that's the pattern.
Where should your safe place?
That's the pattern I keep talking about, guys. It's breaking the cycle.
Yes, man.
Okay. History, background, quick one. 17, I meet my first boyfriend. 17. 26, we break up. 28, I meet my ex-husband. We break up 2014. And then 2015 gap, 2016, I meet somebody. So, do you understand? Builder, like staying. First boyfriend, that's where it got wrong. Because I took the physical, emotional, psychological, financial abuse. Hence, I'm saying I'd rather than at this point rewind, sit back, stay by myself and kind of fix. Because clearly there's this thing that I keep on attracting that is wrong, that is not good for me, not conducive. That 9-year relationship from 17, you're young. You're with this person until you're 26. Physically abusive. Physically abusive. Also, uyakwata ukhuluma ngami ithi ngeke ngalimention igama lakho wena. Ngeke ngalimention. Ngeke ngiwiza ngikhuluma ngegama lakho. All I'm saying is that it started then. Yeah. And till today, I'm still trying to break it. Because it affects you. Yeah. Come home, I'm shooting some movie. Come home, there's 2 glasses of wine. The wine clearly has lipstick stains. Why pinga? Why pinga glassy? Ngazathi ayikho phezu kwetafula. Ngazathi mina ngiyahlanya. Ngazathi mina ngazi ukuthi ngikhuluma ngani. Ngayeka. Second incident, I come home, I drive, I have a parking area that everybody knows. That's Sonia's park. It's like an open secret. It doesn't have my name, but everybody knows. Ubani was number 57. I park, I go in, I take a bath. I'm pregnant with my son, my older son. Uyangena, uyayibona imoto yami, upaka next to my car. Hamba namantombazana ayi-2, uthi hlikani. Bangena endlini. Mabangena endlini ngizwa radio on. I'm inside the shower. I've ordered McDonald's. It was early Mr. Delivery days. Early where you didn't know how to figure it out. It's Mr. Delivery walked inside my house. They decided to go party with my chicken.
And yabona ukuthi umshado ngeke usebenze makunoyi-1 odelelisa umshado wakhe ngabantu. Angeke usebenze.
Ngiyakutshela DINEO. I walk out of the bathroom. I see these 2 girls. I'm like, hayibo kwenzakalani bangibheka so. I look for him. It was one of those 2-bedroom apartment cluster house. I find him. He's looking for something in the jacket. He grabs it. He leaves. Something says to me, go check what he was looking for in the jacket. Condoms, free condoms, choice condoms that my mom gave us that we never used, obviously, because now I'm pregnant. I'm shooting Mr. Bones.
Yeah.
So now...
You were busy rocking condomless Bones. Ngapho shoot to Mr. Bones. Busy Sonia. Yeah.
So anyway, after 6 years, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years in the relationship, guys, lahlana ama-condoms.
Hayi lahlani. Kumnandi maseswalahlile. Lahlani condom, lahlani. Mshishirizo.
So now he leaves.
Yeah.
He phones me at 10. I'm crying at you. Uyakhala. Ukhalelani? I found him at 3. Ngisakhala athi hayi. You must be the best actress there's ever been in this country. Usakhala namanje ngo 3 o'clock. Angene 6 ekuseni. Sithathane sixabane. Ufuna ukungishaya ngila. DINEO ngagibela phezulu. I remember jumping on top of a counter. I remember stripping myself off. Ngasala ngepanty nebra. I remember saying to him, as pregnant as I am, I've been taking this from you for years. Like, bengishaya ukunikezwa ama-guy friends ama-hugs. Like, it just didn't make sense. I remember saying...
No, but can I tell you why? Sonia? Can I tell you why? And this is what I've learned. Umuntu ozaziyo ukuthi yena ubolile will never see anything innocent ewenzayo.
Yeah.
So if I steal from people's purses, I will never leave my own purse in a room full of people.
True story.
I will never.
So
if I know that all my female friends are not friends, there's no way the guy you're hugging is a friend.
Yeah.
So they will project onto you what they do.
Yeah.
That is why that night when I came into the house on the phone, uzitshele usathana ukuthi ngikhuluma nendoda efonini. And ngaleso sikhathi ngiyamtshela umngane wami ngathi hey mngane nami lo baba uqalile uzokufonela. Ngazitshela ngathi yabona lo. Yabona lo. Because I saw how he was getting up. Before saying drop on the phone, sekangenile uyihluthile ongishaya ngempama elahlela lapha ni phone. Ngathi namhlanje kuyoliwa kulendlu. Kuyoliwa kulendlu be in front of phambi kwabantu ama-in-laws nan because I'm not going to be beaten up under my own roof and keep quiet. Salwa. By the end of the night, he's holding me. He's like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. By the end of the night, nami sengixolile.
Oh, Lord. You know, Sonia says something about started at 17, your first boyfriend and all of that. There's some woman that said we actually date the same spirit but in different bodies.
Guys, how do we
divorce these spirits?
We date the same spirit but in different bodies. And that is why you will be able to see, but it started at 17 with that, you know. But that is why I say it's important to take that time to say, and own up to it. I love that accountability.
You have to.
You've got to do it. And I think this is where with one of my friends, I say to her, I'm at a point where I question my ability to choose a life partner because of my circumstances. You know,
that's what I went through.
Like, I'm
just speaking for myself.
I think life partner.
Not good. Life partner, as in I do the juggling thing. I can't do it again because of the spiritual dumping and the soul ties and the whatevers. But I think I'm okay. It's like saying it right. I'm not looking. I'm not active. I'm not on Tinder. I'm not on hook me up girlfriends and boyfriends. I'm not on a prowl. I'm not. I used to be that girl that would be parking at the traffic lights and be like, what are the chances my husband's going to come and come and park on the right side of the road and we look at each other and then we connect and we meet by the petrol station and then we're married and we live happily ever after. I don't think it.
So what are you going to do about your sexual urges? Because the sexual urges are there.
You know, funny enough, when you switch off, they switch off.
I was about to say the same thing. I was legit about to say the same thing because, you know, I think because you
I think I'm designed like a man.
You do. Sorry,
my orientation, I think I'm designed like a man. Normal, ngati switch off. Antidepressant and I complain about, hey, you know, my best friend Ati na to me. Uskamakala in some time dima because the antidepressant antidepressant I was guys me lo hlala athi salmana no amlo uyabulisa
you know for
so I think whether happy or not, whether I'm gigging, whether I've got one of the biggest projects, whether I'm in a cool I think but also off switch lights. Permanent South African stage of load shedding.
Yeah, it's I don't even know if we can call it load shedding. It's rural areas. This is where I also then had a problem because for me, I did not marry a lover.
Oh, he's cold.
You see, for me, I never married. I didn't say
he's not affectionate.
No, he is, but he was not my lover. You know, I could not connect with him on that level. And for the longest time, that was something that caused so much tension in our relationship because here I see someone who really wants to embrace me in that level, but I can't get there. I'm not there. Because why? Everything in me says you're not supposed to be here.
At which point did you find your ex-husbands in the process of you detaching or whatever, sexually unattractive? What was it that turned you against him to say
the ugly connect? But for me, it was the deeds, the ugly deeds. I'm coming home, the electricity is on. My light. Why in shelling on my light in motion electricity? Remember, there was this one time, it was winter. I've got the heater on, but my light because I'm conditioned to sit in the dark. Because motion electricity. And then the heater was on. I remember he walked in, he kicked it, and my son had a friend visiting for the school holidays. Kicked the heater and it went, you know, that awkward moment. And I remember the kids were playing in the room. We called it the elephant room because it was the biggest room in the house. And I remember the kids stopped. There was that silence. And then they looked at each other. Then they looked at me. And the son who's visiting went, is it something I did?
Oh, man.
Oh, shame.
Is it something I said?
Oh, come on.
Do you understand? So all of those things slowly switch you off. The ugliness for me was that. The being ugly attitude, the being ugly, the being nasty, the being like, I ended up not recognizing the person to a point where it was a complete stranger, and you won't let a stranger touch you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
So like that's why I do realize for me that that's another thing I needed to account for. That thank the Lord. Well, based on what I know, thank the Lord that He never got the urge to go outside of our marriage because of my issue of not being able to connect with Him.
Are you sure?
I'm saying what I know.
Okay. What
I know. And so I literally had to say, I had to account for that. And I said, thank God it did not happen based on what I know. But one thing...
So you were closed off from him sexually?
From the beginning.
So how did you guys engage sexually?
That's what I'm saying.
From
Are you
the
sure?
beginning.
Because as a man, and if I keep on now.
And this is why, let me tell you.
That's why I'm so proud of myself. When I say I don't cheat, I leave. I take pride in that. Because I can easily cheat. So
the thing for
cell phone towers. Peak. It's a discipline.
So for me, that is the thing that I realized that from the beginning, I could not connect. So
you've not slept with anyone but your husband?
Yeah. My husband was the man that I was like, and for me, remember, it was not an act of love.
You don't know sex outside of the man you could not open yourself up to sexually.
Sex, though. Sex, that's what I'm trying to say.
The one that makes you scream
and cry
at the same time and laugh.
Let's let you finish. And pee and think you're squirting.
And pee and think you're squirting.
Listen, what I want to share is this, is that because of how our relationship was, you just know when this person is not meant to be your lover, your whatnot, And for me, then I got to a point where I realized that I was also being selfish because I was depriving him of what is rightfully his as my husband. And now I engage in this activity, in sex with my husband, because it's a sense of duty. You get that?
Yeah.
It's a sense of duty because if you don't do it, you are going to cause them to fall into sin, and you don't want that. And so then people are like, but you've got 3 kids. So how did that happen? I was like, well, I had to do it because I am his wife. It's something I have to do.
Can you count how many times you were intimate with your ex-husband? Because it sounds like
I don't know.
Kalahari Desert.
No, not really.
Not really?
But that's what I'm saying. There's lube.
Really.
I'm sure you lubricated, you lubricated.
Yeah, of course. You'll find ways. You find ways to
Did you ever try... I'm trying to imagine sex without... Sex as a duty. I've never experienced sexual intercourse as a duty.
Yeah.
Was it creative or was it always just missionary? He comes on top of you, he does, boom.
Remember now, because I have this thing in my mind where I tell myself that I need to do what is right. So obviously you're going to try and ensure that...
I'm not the only actress.
So you try and say, okay, I need to, because now obviously, as Sonia said, you don't go into marriage to say, I want this to end. So now that I'm in it, I'm going to have to make it work. I have to make it work. And so I try whatever I have to do so that I'm not at fault for not putting in the work. Because there was the longest time where he was the one that was initiating. And I know that there was a time where that was so wrong, and I'm even embarrassed to say it. I remember saying to him, because I just wasn't there. And I said to him, I honestly don't mind if you can find someone else. I'll watch the kids, I'll clean, I'll cook, I'll do anything, because the connection was just not there. And I felt that I'm depriving him of the opportunity of, but one thing that people will never understand is that foundation for me was important. Foundation for me was very important. And how the relationship started, I feel that's what really turned it off. How our relationship started and is exactly what killed that spark to a point that I could no longer see him past what happened.
The superior.
Yeah, so then for me...
superiority complex.
So then...
The man of God.
So then it completely messed it up. It completely messed it up. And so the sense of duty got tiring. It really got tiring.
It does. It's like cooking for your family.
Yeah.
As a duty.
It's a duty. And you get tired.
You get tired.
So I then realized that, but now it's, firstly, I'm being unfair to him because I feel like that I'm pretending. This is fake. And it's exhausting. And he has the right to get good sex from his wife, and I should not be doing it because this is what he wants. I also need to find pleasure in it.
Absolutely. Pleasure is our birthright. I say this all the time.
I need to find pleasure as well in it. And the truth of the matter is, it was a struggle.
I think because I'm an actress, I always say I don't act in real life. I act on camera. In real life, I'd rather walk away. It was a public marriage. It became a public divorce. Purely, I was like, acting.
In real life,
not in real life.
So imagine 11 years.
11 years.
And I remember that.
Do you feel sexually deprived?
Me?
Yeah.
No.
From your marriage, were you ever fulfilled?
That's just the thing, because I feel like I was not with the man that was gonna get me to that point.
Who acted the entire role?
So you don't know.
The entire role, guys. And that is why people are saying to me,
11 years.
It's a lot.
Guys, the Oscar goes to
And this is why
Golden Globes.
So listen, and this is why I remember when I was having a conversation with him, I said, you know what? This is one thing I want to firstly ask for forgiveness for, is that I put you through so much when it comes to your sexual needs.
That's nice, though.
I told him straight, I put you through so much and I'm so sorry about that. But I am this ex-wife that says, I wish you get what you deserve. Because I know I did not have the ability to give it to you.
What you deserve or what you desire? What you need. Because sometimes when we say, I wish you get what you deserve, I wish upon my ex-husband for him.
It has a negative connotation.
When you say what you deserve, it has a negative connotation. That's why,
that context.
What you desire, what you feel
what
you
is
need.
Best for you.
Yes, what is best for you.
What is best for you.
So we once went to therapy. Lo baba. Hey. Mara motho jwang wena ba. Ai mina no be imshatile no nna ke ikitse re ke tlhaga mara wena wa mphala. Ai. Hi lo baba yo. So we go for marriage counseling, guys.
Yeah.
First day. Sihlala phansi. Mhlezi ku left, uhlezi ku right. Hayi ivoice iyaphuma ku right utshela itherapist ukuthi asitherapize kanjani ngathi angisabuyela uyatshela netherapist ukuthi isilaphe kanjani uke waya ku doctor ugula wena ugula utshela iGP yakho ukuthi okay awungicheck ukuthi ngiphethwe yini okay uzongilapha so na ile prescription ngibhalele yes I was like this is going nowhere marriage counseling he's sitting there telling her how she must conduct her therapy. And I'm like, this is another, which one is this one?
Mina bekufanele siwenze therapist on 20 ngala.
And uthanda kabuhamba tshela abantu ukuthi she didn't come for marriage counseling. Hey, when you tried to be the counselor.
Yes.
You tried to be the counselor.
Yeah.
Why am I going?
Yeah. Mina on 20, it was his home. He was best friends with the pastors. So you cancel in that territory, in that environment, in a space where already I'm the enemy, already I'm the
You're
culprit,
the problem.
already I'm the problem.
Yeah.
Same similar situation. Went to a therapist and ngathi ngamabomu ngathola umunye umfazi omlungu ngathi uyahlupheka but ngiguglishile uhlakanipheke kakhulu nama degrees amaningi but because environment yakhe bengekho cute kaso njengale studio. I think I'm a sofa and I made it. I did that on purpose because I'm a sofa. So I made it a point which I find somebody who's highly educated, highly qualified, but innately they are not extravagant or over the top. You know? So one again our office, one again our one session only what I the just because I got myself over for night. So do you understand the same thing?
It's so weird.
One
it's
session.
Like
that's all we did. One session.
Everything
I'm not going back.
It's crazy. Everything we try to do to fix the marriage, right? One party, in my experience, would do it for what people have to say, and so that he can tell people that this is what we are doing, but you need to be present in the work to fix, right? So this is the kind of person that I am. If you disturb my peace, bare uska khotla noha le sobeng la yona ke noha ska khotla ke noha. I'm minding my own business. Abuti ibile wena o fere wila mfereya. wa ntlosa mo ntlositseng teng wa ntlisa bophelong bo ba hao bo tlhakatlhakaneng bo nang le wena le bagotsi ba hao ba nyetseng le butse group ya WhatsApp le basadi ba go di mining ba bang ba nyetseng gore le cheatele di-partner tsa lona. And you are doing this knowing o na le group e nngwe mo di WhatsAppong le nyesa ko Midrand waterfall le roba le banyana train la ti shoota la posta mo di groupong le buka di lodge le nka di HIV test tsa spot what ha di re negative la betsa raw. Do you think that is conducive to the peace at home? Ke no hantate ha o nkgotla and a cobra ke a iphahamela. That's my character.
Can I ask a question without you, and everyone at home, wherever you are, on your phone, on your PC, on your skylight, whatever, sunroof, wherever, without coming for me? Do you think it's a South African dilemma?
No, it's not. No. It's not. Can I tell you what it is?
But there's a certain pattern.
No.
There's a certain pattern, DINEO, where a man will only sleep at home on Tuesday because Wednesday is kawash, Thursday is a chisanyama, Friday is whatever club, Saturday is Saints, Sunday is Konka, Monday is Mukhodu Monday, and only sleeps at home on that one particular day of the. I know 90.99% of those situations on a personal capacity. So I'm saying without it making it, but I feel like there's a thread, there's a pattern in this country. I know men are men. I know university and whatever. But what you've just described sounds so familiar.
It sounds very familiar because we have a shared experience. Yeah. But I think it's a global experience. It's not limited to South Africa.
Yeah.
And
because men are men.
And I don't want to say men are men because I'm not
I'm just saying like you make a decision.
Men are men, like I said, universally men are men. Yeah. But what she just described, do you understand? I sat here and I literally had 10 people that have gone through what she's gone through.
It's not a South African culture.
Yeah, it's not.
I think it is a culture of people that have submitted their lives to the streets.
There you are.
So anywhere in the world you'll find them. We all submit to something.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask us, how do you define submission to you? My definition of submission is inspired, me as a woman, being inspired by your leadership to create an environment that is conducive enough for all in it to flourish.
Yeah.
Right? Because as a woman, I'm an incubator.
Yes.
You seed in me a sperm, you get a human being.
Yeah.
You seed in me toxicity, you get no peace.
Yeah.
You seed in me chaos, you get even bigger destruction. My ex-husband left the house under extreme, and when I say extreme, I mean extreme destructive energy because he seeded the chaos. Yeah. And therefore the response was, the cobra in the hole has risen. So you will not leave peacefully because you are not leaving peace. And this entire week I've been thinking about, what does peace mean?
Yeah.
Two men that say they want peace. Only today, after dating multitudes of men, I have fully understood and can speak confidently. Amatota awafani, but I know what peace means to my partner.
Yeah.
And it means something so important equally to me because it comes from him first.
So you
a leadership style for me inspires submission in me.
So you're saying you found it, right?
Yes.
Finally got it right.
I'm not saying I finally got it right.
But you found it.
But right now, I'm at the highest level of peace that I've ever experienced in any relationship. And I think it is because my partner is not threatened by me. My partner is not intimidated by anything by me because his confidence level in himself
Love that.
is so... I've never
I
met a
love
person
that.
so confident.
I love that.
Confidence without arrogance. Confidence, a subtle... You know when they say there's Batman and then there's Spider-Man. Spider-Man what? Spider-Man don't tell you where Spider-Man road to 1 million. Spider-Man and then there's Batman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Batman
Suave,
wana
cool.
abashebe bayakonga. Are no mara grand chapo. Hai mara nkare ke mnatiso. Batman abatlohele ba bue and doesn't always feel the need to speak.
Yeah.
Because the power within him, he is content with. So he does not feel the need to compete with his surroundings. And instead, what he does, which I find so fascinating, he encourages, because my ex-husband said, the day was stop DJ. And you know that, I'm being honest. And then he used to go with me to gigs. And this one time I remember at some venue in Sunninghill, some guy brought some champagne while I was playing.
Of course.
He was loving the set, brought a bottle of champagne out. Did I not get crucified for a bottle of champagne? I didn't buy myself that champagne. What must I do?
And it's appreciation.
He's appreciating my talent. You know, he would even go and fight with people where I'd be gigging, and then promoters now don't want to book me. And it was just a mess.
Of what's
because
in him.
his
He's got his own
insecurity.
issues. And he's portraying them.
Yes,
He's projecting them.
projecting.
He's projecting them on you, and it's a
He
mess.
felt so small within himself
Yeah.
that he felt that a destructive life and being Spider-Man was what he needed to fill up his cup of confidence. So when he is glorified outside, he felt confident. When the girls are singing his praises for spending, he felt confident. I like and appreciate, and Abantu, maybe it's a mismatch, right? But
what I'm going to ask you a question after this.
Yeah.
I hope you don't mind.
I don't mind. I don't mind at all, Sons. I don't mind at all. So my thing was that I find so fascinating in this relationship is that my current partner allows me to flourish in my feminine energy. And it's not an allowance. He grants my feminine energy permission to exist.
Yeah.
So because I was met with masculine
That's-
energy, I then became masculine. But my partner's masculinity is not imposed on me. And he has a tendency to say, you want to furnish the house?
I love it.
Please do it.
Oh.
You want to do this? Please do it. Oh, you want to talk about sex and stuff now? Please go ahead. Run with it. I will even help you with it. He allows my creative to flourish without questioning it because he understands he can trust himself.
Love that.
He is confident within himself. He is not proving himself to anyone. Neither does he have to prove himself to me or compete with me.
Yeah.
That is so peaceful.
I'm literally listening to you.
That's so
and I'm
peaceful.
Yeah, and I think after that we can say amen.
Amen. We can definitely
I
say
don't
amen
want to
because
lie.
That's exactly it.
This week benkhala ngikhala inyembezi ukuthi indoda enenhliziyo enhle kanje. The way he treats his mother, the way he speaks of his friends with respect, the affection he speaks of his friends. And being a man like that doesn't make you weak.
Absolutely.
It doesn't make you a
It's just,
simp.
You know.
It doesn't make you uguti. You're dating a woman. DINEO. Yeah, I'm sure. Islima. No, nothing of the sort. Most women will submit to your leadership style if it allows and if it gives permission for their feminine energy to exist.
Thrive and survive.
We are a
Amen.
manufacturing industry.
Amen.
We multiply what we receive.
Amen.
So therefore we need to be given room to
Love
be
it.
emotional.
Love it.
Yeah.
And you need to somewhat, as a leader, be empathetic.
Yeah.
Companies crumble
Because
when leadership is not empathetic.
the fish rots from
The top,
head.
from the head.
Yeah.
So truly, if you want to be at peace with your partner, reflect on your leadership style.
Love that.
You are the
Oh, I love
CEO of
that.
our family.
Amen.
I am the MD of our family.
Yeah.
You understand? And I don't want to compete with you.
And
Or
so
the
now
neck,
here
or
you are.
however.
No, you
it
structure it.
Yeah, exactly. But
This is
at the
exactly
top,
it.
at the end of the day, you are the
Sure.
head. You
And
are the head.
umfazi uyathanda ukubonela indoda yakhe
Oh,
le.
Nkosi yami.
Ayihloniphe
Holy man-
azithobe kuyo.
Yes.
But uzithoba kanjani kumuntu
Okay, belisa phezu kwamatafula.
You know, I'll even tell you even scripturally, the Bible says where there's no vision, people perish.
Yes.
Where there is no vision, people perish. And this is the thing that men have got to realize. If you don't have a vision, step back a bit. Ungam-confuse umntana abantu, ungahlukumezi umntana abantu, miyeke. There's a meme I once saw that said, before you want to approach a woman, look at her, study her life, really take time to study her life, see where she's going. And if you feel that you can come into her life and empower her to become even better, then go for her. But if you see that I'm not going to be able, and I'm going to drop the standard, and so that is why, for me, the highest thing that I longed for, I needed someone that was going to lead me well. Because I know my character.
Leadership.
I know my character. I know. And that is why I'm still functional, even though my pastor said to me, now your divorce, what's going to happen to you? And I'm like, I'm still going to be prudent. Nothing's going to change. Okay, I'm still going to be prudent. And I'm literally going to just, be me and really flourish in all that I want to do. But for me, leadership is key.
Oh, leadership.
Leadership is key. Vision is key. Because now, you have the
The question that I wanted to ask, and maybe for both of you, two for you, and then maybe
I will use this as how we're going to wrap. Okay. 100%. Let's wrap on this question. Yes. Shoot.
First question: the person that you are with now, that you resonate with, that you connect with, your soulmate, right? I would go as far as that without being presumptuous. Number one, is he in the industry because he understands the hours, how the industry works, hence the support, hence the whatever. And number two, being the spiritual people that we are, right? What did you do towards speaking it into existence, praying over it, lighting candles over it? Because I know, as much as I have gotten it wrong several times,
and it's okay,
I will not give up on love,
and
guys.
It's okay.
And I know he's coming. So so that's the question. I need to know what are you doing also now on your end? Because now
for me, as I said, because I'm still working on myself. But one thing that I have really been intentional about is I am praying about it. I just said, Lord, yes, I messed up the first time, but now I know, because I still believe in love. Just like you, my experience has not made me think less of marriage. It has not made me think less of men. I still believe that there are good men out there, and I still believe in the beauty of marriage. And what am I doing? I've made it my intention. I'm intentional about honestly praying about it, because that's where I fight my battles. I pray about it, and I said, you know what? God, you're going to make me. You are helping me to become a woman. Because at first I probably thought I was the best woman. I thought, you know what, this guy's got an amazing... I thought this guy's got an amazing woman. I mean, listen, I got the brains. I mean, I cook, I clean. I mean, I'm there, But then I realized that, no, you're not. So hence I got to... When I'm praying about, Lord, make me suitable, then God is revealing to me things.
So you do believe he's out there.
I do believe that. I really do. I really believe that. But the one thing I'm not doing, I'm not chasing for it. I'm not in a hurry for it, because I believe that it's going to be beautiful in its own time.
There are so many amazing men out there.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart that there are so many terrible men out there. Equally, there's so many amazing women out there.
Yeah.
It breaks my heart that there are so many terrible women out there. Most good people will attract the worst kind, and then they try. Like, yabona umuntu othi 10 o'clock sebusuku yo mina sengikhathele, I'm going to bed. Bese ashade 10 o'clock. Ngisayogeza. Siyaphuma. 10 o'clock ngiyalala, no 10 o'clock ngisayakonga. Bayathanda ukushadana. You understand? What I did, Sonia, was I said to God, well, I didn't say to God, I actually had a conversation with my ancestors and I said to them, bantu abadala ne, ngokuzithoba. Dala ngizikhethela. Didiniwe. Zezami izichoice. Xa senimfumene, mletheni. Nizikhetheleni yena.
Nina.
Ngokuzithoba, ninithetheleni kuThixo umdali wezulu nomhlaba, uba. Enikhethise yena. Enincede, ndiyamcela ndinesikhalo. Yes, I'm angry. And I'm angry at men. And I can say I'm angry at men because it comes even from my own father. I have seen the changes in my father. And I love and respect my father. But because I love and respect my father, he'll tell you it does not mean I don't call him out on his nonsense. Xa senibona ngathi inhliziyo kamama isentlungwini, I go to my father and I say, but you cannot do this. You cannot be doing this. Not at this age, not at so many years after you've learnt your wife. You cannot still be utilizing your masculine energy to lead. You need to understand her feminine energy and use your empathy to lead. Iba nenhliziyo, iba nenzwelo ntlungu. You understand? And I said, ndilapheni mna. Uba xa efika, endifumane, ndipholile, ndilaphekile. So that I don't bleed on a person that you have chosen for me.
That's it.
I stopped describing.
That's exactly where
I stopped choosing. I just went, I'm single.
And it
I don't know what the sign is. But I'm sure. I say to vo, izawuvutha.
No, I'm a wimp, right? And I knew you were going to do this to me at some point. I hate you. It's purely because, guys, I know it seems like this is a just talking heads. We're doing this for the sake of ratings, podcast, or whatever it is. It's not. We're real. We're human.
We need to heal.
We're women. We need to heal. And I know I'll be damned. I will find him. I will find him.
And he will find you.
He will find me.
Sooner than you think.
He will find me. He will find me.
Do the inner work. I remember just recently on Instagram, I commented, I posted a thread about what peace means to two different types of men. Right? And I'm still going to continue with my thoughts about what submission means to two different kinds of women. Right?
I heard that.
So for me, it's so important to do the inner work.
Yes, ma'am.
And this girl had posted, Eti, under the post, do these men even exist? They don't exist. And I said, actually, they do.
They do.
Just focus on your inner work. And then one day, Sonia, you will look up. And he will be standing right in front of you.
You know you're a good woman. I'm so glad that I am who I am, where work-wise I commit, I overwork, I overdeliver, I'm a perfectionist, I cook, I clean. I came home from yesterday at 8:30 in the evening. I still had to cook my children dinner. And they're old, by the way. I mean, I don't have infants, but the way they love my food.
And also the way you love to serve them.
I love to serve them. I look forward. I don't care what time it is. I look forward. I will phone Kipinyama so that it's defrosted naturally. And I will get home. I don't care. 9 o'clock at night, I will cook dinner for my boys. And I will make sure that all their needs are met. I sit down with my children. I look at them in the eye. I engage them. If they're being assholes, I tell them, you're being an asshole right now. And I don't like this attitude. I don't like what you're doing. When they're being good boys, I give them hugs. Like, we are so affectionate. There isn't a day that passes by without us telling each other that we love each other, without us giving each other, like, connecting on that human level. So because you know you're capable of all these things, there's no ways I can go to it. Plus, I'm cute, guys.
Listen.
I love that. I'm so glad you guys trusted me with your stories. I'm so glad, and I appreciate it so much. Prudence, Sonia, I really, really appreciate it. And the reason why why we have stories like this.
I think you're a powerhouse.
I'm
100%.
listening to you, and I'm like, these women, there's so much similarity, and
There
so
is.
much, you know
There
what?
is.
I'm so thankful. It's so funny how I made it here, but I needed to be here. I really needed to be here because I'm growing so much, I'm learning so much, and
and so are we from you. So we're from you.
You can never say you know it all. So thank you for the opportunity.
You're most welcome.
I'm going to get
No, don't call me Mamfundis. I'm not a Mamfundis anymore.
I have a feeling you're going to marry another one.
Oh my goodness.
No.
Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it. And I hope you're able to understand that when you tell your story, and I really mean this, don't tell your story for people to believe you.
Love that.
No, it doesn't matter who believes you. Yeah. Really, it doesn't. Mm-hmm. But there's somebody out there who's going through maybe just a little bit more than what you made through or gone through or made it through. And they need to hear that narrative, that they are not alone and they too can be saved either by an external force or an internal force, none greater than self-love and none greater than self-awareness. Family members, my sexies. So it's time for the sex tip of the day. Coming at you from Arise Studios. You want to shoot a podcast? They are your people. And also Black Studios _1 on Instagram. You need people to shoot for you? They are your people. And also for the perfect smile with braces on, Sunset Dentistry. Thank you. Alrighty, back to the business of the day. So listen, it's not so much of a sex tip. It really isn't so much of a sex tip. I think it's just a piece of advice from a person who has experienced also what judgment on situations you know nothing about does. You may think that you are judging the person and speaking of them negatively, but let me tell you what it's actually doing. It is impacting negatively on you. Be careful the words you speak over people's lives. Be careful the words you speak about people's lives. Because when you speak and you utter something, understand the universe conspires, whether you believe it or not. It is called energy. Energy is a currency. So what you invest into is what you will get in return. To judge people not knowing the depth and the hardship of the journey they have traveled, it will come back to you. It will. So the less you say about people's lives, the better. Sip water, mind your own business, and focus on your own cloth. You see me, I'm 39 turning 40. Can you tell? I mind my business, baby.